Okay, we left off in the middle of something yesterday. Just the time ran out. So let's a lot of hakdama to a background to the today's daf. So Shaul is killed by the Pelishtim, and David does not ascend to the Malchus right away. Shaul's general, the power behind Shaul's throne, was a person named Avner ben Ner, and he installed Shaul's son Ishbosheth as king. And David is in Hebron. He's in the rest of Eretz Yisrael, and Ishbosheth accuses Shaul of an avera, of being with the Pelegesh of Shaul. Avner. He accuses Avner of an avera. Avner realizes that this isn't working. Anyway, Avner had gone to there'd been a p'kisha between Avner and Yoav. Yoav was David's nephew, and he was a brother Avishai and a brother Asael. And it broke out a little Asael with an iron. A fight broke out, and Avner ran away. Asael was very fast, and he ran after Avner. Avner was the strongest person in Klal Yisrael. Asael catches up to him. Avner warns him, stop, and he doesn't listen because he wants to get it. Avner kills him. He hits him in his chomish. It's in his fifth rib. Kills him, and Yoav holds it against Avner. Yoav holds it against Avner for years and years and years. I don't know about years and years, a short period of time, for killing Asael. Now, after that took place before these protests. Now, Shaul decides, Avner decides after the Maisa with these protests, he realizes that he's going to go ahead and centralize the Malchus with David. So he goes to make peace with David. Yoav finds out, here's Avner who killed my brother. Avner leaves. Yoav catches up to him. Yoav fools Avner. He asks him, how does a Yavama without hands do chalitza? After all, you have to untie the shoe. If she doesn't have hands, how does she do it? So he said, well, he does it with the teeth, and he illustrated it to it. So as he bent down, he killed him. So Yoav kills Avner. How does it look to Klal Yisrael? Avner comes to make peace with David, and David's general Yoav kills Avner. So David goes to great lengths to go ahead and show that he had nothing to do with the death of Avner. And he curses Yoav. And I put on a sheet. I sent out what the curse was, what exactly he did. Okay, so take a look. It's just a little prelim to the Gemara. So you take a look at your phones, right? You take a look at your phones. This is the curse that he gave him. Okay, the lashon is the lashon is there should be not missing from the house of Ayichres Beis Yoav Zav Mitzayra Machzik Bepelach Nofel Bechera V'Chasalechem. So he said the middle column is the curse, fellas. In the middle column, he said in Yoav's house there should be a Mitzayra, there should be Zav, there should be a person who's poor, Chasalechem. Machzik Bepelach, the Balaturim says a bur in Amaretz, right? However, other Mefarshim say he's holding on to a stick, a cane, and Nofel B'Cherev, someone who falls on a sword. This is the curse that he went ahead and he cursed Yoav with. Yoav now is hanging on to Mizbeach. Yoav shows up and he has a conversation. He tells him, this is where we left off yesterday. If you're going to go ahead and curse me, then let me live. But if you're going to kill me, then this klala should revert to the family of David. If you're going to go ahead and kill me, then the klala that you gave me, because you shouldn't have done two things, either curse me or kill me, but not both. And in fact, it does revert. So this is today's Gemara. We'll just go ahead a little bit and show it on the screen. A person who's beautiful, noi. So these are the 5 things a person would wish upon his son. It's the Mishnah in Idios, Perik Beis, Mishnah Tes. Hu ha'ya'omed is Rabbi Akiva. Ha'av zochel ben. This is not in the Gemara, guys. It's all part of the chart. Ha'av zochel ben. The father gives 5 things to his son: noi, beauty; koyach, strength; ashiris, wealth; chachma, wisdom, and shanim, long life. So these are the five things that a father is mizaka to his son. Keneged these five things, that's what David cursed Yoav. Keneged these five things. So a person who is a Mitzayra obviously does not have beauty. A person who is a Zav is very weak. It takes away your koyach. A person who's Chasalechem obviously is not wealthy. You don't have it, Abi? I sent it to you. All right? A person who's Machzik Bepelach, either he's a tippish, he's a fool, he's a bore, and that's Keneged Chachma. A person who is Neifel Becherev, obviously he falls on his sword, he doesn't have Shanim. So the five klalis of David that to Yoav can negate the five things that a father gives to a son. Again, since David has Shlomo kill Yoav, now the klala reverts to the mishpacha of David. Uziyahu wasn't Mitzayra. Rechavam, that's the grandson of David, was a Zav. Yechanya, of Yechanya fame, 11 years before the Churban, was poor. Asa was a cripple. He was machzik with pelach, literally holding on to a cane. Yeshio, of course, you know from the piyut on Tisha B'Av, was killed at a very, very early age by a bunch of arrows. So this is the hakdama to the shir. Actually, not the hakdama. This is basically the Gemara with a little bit of background to the Navi, and then we'll see what exactly the court case that was held for Yoav. What? Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's it. Now, so we're up to Amar Yehuda Marav. I memches on these, count up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, about 20 lines up, close to 20 lines up. Oh, you just missed that. So we're beginning on Memches Amid Beis, about 20 lines up. And the pasuk says, "Vayomalo Hamelech." Shlomo says on Memches Amid Beis, "Vayomalo Hamelech, Asay Kasher Diver." I do like I said, to kill him. Upagaboy, and Benayahu kills Yoav b'kavartoi. Amrav Yehuda Marav. Kol klaloi shekil David es Yoav. All the klalais that David cursed Yoav with. Niskayim Bizarre Shel David, it was fulfilled in David's children from his mishpacha. It says, Al Yichreis in Beis Yoav Zav u'Mitzayru u'Machzik v'Pelach v'Noifel b'Cherev v'Chas Alechem. And now we're going to go ahead and show, as we did on the chart, right? As we did on the chart, we're going to go and see and show how all of these were what came upon the mishpacha of David. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we'll see how all of these reverted to the mishpacha of David. Zav, who was a Zav? That was Rechavam. Yechsiv, place Yerushalayim. V'chesiv v'chol Merkav Ashirkov olav Hazav Yitma. So the fact that he was going to the Merkav alludes to the fact that what from the word Merkav Geser Shava he was a Zav. Uzi Mitzayra. Where do you see Mitzayra from, fellas? From Uziyahu. Ukasiv v'cheskoslei gava liboy ad lahashlich vayimol ba Hashem Elokav vayovoy el hechel Hashem lahakter al mizbeach hakatayris. He wanted to be the kohen also. Ukasiv vatsaras zorchem b'mitzchay, and saras spread on his forehead. So Uziyahu was a Mitzayra. Next, machzik v'pelach, literally holding on to the cane, or the pelach is a spindle. Me'asa, we see from Asa, dichsiv rak la'esik nasay chola esraglov, v'amrav Yehuda amarav, she'achslei podagra. He was stricken with podagra, which is probably gout. Right? Amalei mazucha breid of Nachman hechi dami. What's the pain of gout, of podagra? Amalei told him, kimachat b'basachai. It's like needles in a person in live flesh. Mino yoda. How did Rav Nachman know this? Rav Nachman himself had this feeling. He was makabel from his Rebbe. HaKadosh Baruch Hu reveals what to his those who fear him. So it was revealed to him what exactly it feels like. That's Yoshiyahu. That's the last one on the chart. Yoshiyahu dies at a very young age. The archers got him. Lamelech Yoshiyahu. They pierced his body like a colander. So many nebach, so many arrows hit him. V'chasal lechem Yechanya. And Pers Chasal Lechem we see from Yechanya. Dechsiv Baruchasle Ruchas Tamid Nitna Loi from Nebuchadnezzar's son was Avul Meroidach. Avul Meroidach, he had to go ahead. What after Nebuchadnezzar died, he supported Yechanya, who was Chasal Lechem. So you see, he was poor. So Amrav Yehuda Amar Yehuda Amar Rav Amar Aleph. Amrav Yehuda Amar Rav Amar Aleph. Right. So what do we see over here? Who cursed? David. Who suffered? David. Right. You can keep it. Right. Tehei luta, better to be the cursee, like tehei la'atad than the cursor. Right. That in the end it turned out it was much worse for David than Yoav was killed. Now, Isuli Yoav, Diana, they brought him to a court case. They're judging Yoav for, Yoav was guilty of killing Avner, as we said in the Akdama to the Shir, and he's being judged for that. So Amalei Shlomo said, my time of Katalte Avner, why'd you kill Avner? Amalei Yoav said, Goyal Adam da Sol Habi, I'm the Goyal Adam of my brother Asoil. After all, Avner killed my brother. So said Shlomo to Yoav, Asol roidev have. Asol was running after Avner to kill him. So Amalei, Yoav said, if he didn't have to go ahead and kill him, he could have injured him. So Amalei, now you're telling me he could have gone ahead, right? So Amalei, so Shlomo said, Avner was unable to go ahead and wound him. So Amalei, Yoav said, he was able to hit this killing spot, the fifth rib, where the liver and the gallbladder meet. He went ahead and struck Asol with the back of his spear, on the fifth rib. It's the place where the liver and the gallbladder meet. I guess it's a killing zone. So it said Yoav, he was on the run and he was able to get in such an exact spot. You mean to tell me he wasn't able to go ahead and injure him? So therefore, I agree he was a right, but again, he could have saved himself by hitting in a spot that went to kill him. So you can't tell me he couldn't aim. Look how well he aimed, right?
Chop off his head. He could have chopped off his head too. Why not in the groin?
What?
Why not go?
But he was running after him to kill him. Asol was running to kill him. So he took his harness and he hit him. So Amalei Shlomo said, okay, Nezel Avner. Okay, you know what? Says Shlomo to Yoav, okay, you presented your case for being part of Avner. I'll let you off. My time katalte la Amasa, but you killed Amasa. David sent Amasa to gather the troops. Amasa finds them learning and he doesn't bring them back. Yoav says he's Mori b'malchus. He didn't listen to the king. So he goes, now, why did you kill Amasa? So Amalei, Yoav said, Amasa Mori b'malchus habe. He didn't listen to David. Yechsiv vayomer Melech Amasa Hasek li as ish Yehuda shleishes yomim. Go ahead and gather the men of Yehuda within 3 days. Vayelech Amasa lahazek es Yehuda. He goes to gather Yehuda Amasa v'yoicher, and he delays and he doesn't do it. So therefore he was Mori b'malchus. So Amalei Shlomo said to Yoav, Amasa is not a Mori b'malchus. Achin v'rakin darish. He darshan the achin v'rakin. The achin, the lashon of ach or rak, come to go ahead and be mamayit, right? Ashkechiu de psia lebe mesechta. Amasa found the men of Yehuda that were being oisik in Torah, and he didn't want to be mevatel them. Okay, so Amasa said to himself, Kesiv. It says by Yeshua, Kalisha sheyamre es picha. Anyone who rebels against you, and doesn't listen to your voice. This is the way you get Ma'ir Malchus from Yeshua. The Kadosh Baruch Hu tells Yeshua anything that anyone who rebels against you and doesn't do what they're supposed to do, don't listen to you, will die. I might think if they're learning that you should be mevatel from Torah, Tamalayma, rak chazak v'yamatz. What's the rak? Memayit. There are certain situations where they don't have to listen to you, and that's learning Torah. So therefore, Amasa was not Mori b'malchus. Ella, who gave him Mori b'malchus habe. So in other words, so now obviously he didn't darshan the rak. He held he was Mori b'malchus. Ella, who gave him Mori b'malchus habe. You, Yoav yourself, were Mori b'malchus. Dichsiv, that Shlomo heard, Ba ad Yoav, ki Yoav nata achri adoniyah. The Shalom leinata. My leinata, Amar Rav Yehuda, shebikesh lintais v'leinata. Why didn't he go after Avshalom? Rabbi Loza, Adayin lachlucha shel David kayemes. He's still the moisture of David was still around. Rabbi Yosef Chanina Amar, Adayin it's tagnine shel David, the 400 soldiers of David. Hayakayamim. Dam Rav Yehuda Marav. Abrames Yolodim Bachurim Hayolod David V'Kulam Yev Fastaya. We saw the staff guys in Chaf Aleph. Remember, we said that Rashi in Kedushin said on Ayin Vav it wasn't David's children, but they were Megadli Belurius. They had these Mongol cut. They were scary. Umahachim Rashi Gaisais. David, and they were the powerful people of David, and therefore Yoav was scared. Okay, so now Yoav is being accused of three things: one, killing Avner; two, killing Amasa; and now three, him being married b'malchus. Avner we took care of. Avner we took care of. Why'd I kill him? Because he killed my brother. You'll tell me my brother was a roidif? No, he should have injured him and not killed him. Okay. Amasa was married b'malchus. He was sent by David to gather and he didn't listen. Said Shlomo, we didn't have to listen. Rak. No, okay, he didn't dash in the Rak. But what about you? When Adoniyahu went ahead, when David was old and sick and cold, Adoniyahu started going ahead and saying, I want to be the next king. Who followed him? You did. And not only didn't you do it then, you would have done it b'mei Avshalom had you thought, what? You didn't see that David still had epis abyssal. There still was a little bit to David's lachluchis. You would have done it there as well. So you were married b'malchus. So forget about killing Avner. Forget about killing Amasa. You yourself, you followed Adoniah. You were married b'malchus. That's what he tells. That's what he tells Avia, Yoav. Upligid Rav Abba Bar Kahana, Dom Rav Abba Bar Kahana, Ilmali David Yasa Yoav Mulchama, right? That you said that they fought wars because of these 400 people. Really, it was Avner. It was Yoav. Yoav was the mighty warrior. The Omer of Abba Bar Kahana, Ilmali David Yasa Yoav Mulchama, V'Mali Yoav Oisik David B'Torah. Without Yoav, without David, Yoav couldn't go to war, and without Yoav, David couldn't learn. David did tzedakah mishpat for his whole nation. The Yoav ben Seruya, Yoav the son of Seruya, who by the way was David's sister. Guys, Yoav was David's nephew. Yoav was David's son. Seruya was David's sister. Right? Al Hatzava, he was the commander of the army. Matam David asa mishpat tzedakah. What's the reason that David was able to do mishpat tzedakah? L'chol amai. Mishum di Yoav al Hatzava, because Yoav took care of all the military issues. Matam Yoav al Hatzava, why was he appointed general? Mishum di David Oisa Mishpat Tzedakah Chalamoy. So according to this, it's a little different. That wasn't the 400 people, it was a Yoav. It says, Vayetze Yoav meim David, Vayishlach malachim achrei Avner, Vayeshivu sami basir. Okay, now we're getting back to the death of what? The death of Avner. Okay, guys, outside. A little more story time. Shaul is chasing after David. Shaul had been king. Shaul had this special ruach gevur lamalchus. Yeah, I told you this once. When he was appointed king, when Shmuel kissed him, it was nichnas in ruach gevur lamalchus. After he failed to kill Amalek, first of all, not waiting for Shmuel to come down to fight, and Sveitens for killing Amalek was taken away from him. It was taken away from him, and obviously it was manifested in what? In David. David was appointed the king in the lifetime of Shaul. Shaul was still alive, so he was a lame duck. His hatred was directed towards what? Towards David. His hatred was directed to David. And if you want to think about it, there's no bigger Mori b'malchus than a king being appointed the lifetime of a king. And therefore, Shaul was trying to kill David at all costs. David had two opportunities to kill Shaul. Two opportunities. Shaul is sleeping, mitach hamachna. He's surrounded by his men. It's the middle of the night. Everyone's sleeping. David sneaks in. He takes up Shaul's spear and he takes a canteen of water. He comes out, waits till they wake up, and he starts yelling from a mountaintop, look, I could have killed you. Look how close I was to you. Here's your spear. Here's your water. Says Avner, it's not a riot that I was here. Maybe you forgot it somewhere. So Avner did not allow Shaul and David to make up. He came with an excuse how the canteen ended up in the hands of David. Shaul has to go to the Beis HaKisei. He goes into a cave. He's going to the bathroom. It says Lahasech Esraglav. He surrounds himself like a sukkah. David's men say, "This is it. Let's kill him." David can't kill him. The way he looked at him, he was such a snoo in the bathroom. He couldn't kill him. He cut off a piece of the garment. That's why he got cold at the end of his life. He goes out of the cave and he goes back to the men. And David comes out of the cave, takes the swatch of garment and say, "Look, I could have killed you." Says Avner, "There's no raya. Perhaps on the way up somewhere, right? It got caught on a piece of thorn." So when it says bar usira, guys, the bar is symbolic of the water, the bar of water, and the sira means a thorn. It's symbolic of the thorn. So now it makes sense what the Gemara says. Let's see the Gemara. So you want to know why Avner died. Now this is, in other words, it shows the greatness of Avner. How in the world could Avner be killed? Okay? How can I'm looking for the place. Vayetze Yoav mim David vayishlach malachim achrei Avner, and they go ahead. He takes. Remember, I told you he found out that Avner had come to make a peace treaty with David. Finding out that Avner left, Yoav, who hated Avner for killing his brother Asahel, goes ahead. Vayeshivu oso, and he returns him, fellas. And here's the words: Mibar hasira, my mibar hasira, Amar of Abba bar Kahana, baru sira garmu loy la'avner shehareg. It was a bar and a sira that caused Avner to be killed, because the bar and sira symbolized the fact that Avner did not allow the peace to take place between David and Shaul. It says, "Vayateu Yoav el toich hashar." Shar is lashon of Sanhedrin. L'daber itay b'sheli, to speak to them clandestinely. Amar Rabbi Yochanan shedanu dinis Sanhedrin. Amalei, my time katalti lasol. Why'd you kill Asahel, my brother? He says, so Avner told him, Asahel roida for you. He was a roida. So he told him, you should have gone ahead and hit him one of his avarim. You shouldn't have killed him. Says Avner le'yachalei. So it says Yoav to Avner, Hashter b'doifin chamishis kavanas lei. You were able to be so exact and hit him in his fifth rib, you couldn't get him another spot. The Dabrita b'Sheli, Rav Yehuda Rav Aliski Sheli. What does that mean? That I think it means that he I think it's the lashon of chalitza, that shalom means shal nalcha. If you look at Rashi, fellas, first white line, aliske shelo lashon shal nalecha shaloi ba'orma. So this is what Avner asked Yoav asked Avner. Yavama kidemes hey chayletzes. How does a Yavama who has no hands, she's an amputee, how does she go ahead and do chalitza? So Hischel, Avner began shoichel milfanov, to bow down umareo, and to exhibit it to Yoav. Kachoya chaletzes b'shinach, she uses her teeth. Who shalav charboy, Yoav drew his sword, v'harg, and he killed him. Okay, that's he killed him. Again, Avner was the strongest person. Klal Yisrael, Yoav would have been unable to kill him, if not what? B'sheli, secretly, he got him, but in the lashon shal nala, he got him by the shaila of chalitza. Very geschmack. Vayakeu sham al chaimish. Mida kneged mida. He also got him the chaimish. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, b'day v'chamish is makom shemara v'kavei tluyim ba, in the place where the gallbladder and the liver meet. The Heshav Hashem es damai al roishay asher paga b'shnei anoshim tzadikim v'toivim imenu toivim shahayu darshem achim v'rakim. So Avner, in other words, you're being paid back for killing Avner and Amasa. Why are they better than you? They darshan achim v'rakim. They were in Mari b'machas, right? Where do you see Avner darshan, fellas? What Rashi brings, when Shaul told Avner to kill out Novir Kohanim, he refused. He told him to kill out Novir Kohanim. He refused. If you look at Rashi, fellas, 3 lines down where it gets wide. Shem darshan achim v'rakim. Shleikayim mitzvah hamelech. They didn't listen to the king. Lavrol divei Torah, right? They put the word of the King of Kings in front of the Jewish king. Amasa kidamara, and as we said, Rak, he wasn't machal them, didn't stop them from mavatlam from Torah. Avner, kisha amalei shol avodav sobu ve'misu as kohen Hashem, go kill the Kohanim of Nov. Ukasiv play avu avdei shol l'shloach yadam l'fkaya. And he didn't do it. He refused to do it. Okay, so therefore they were better than you back. Darish achim rakim v'uloi darish tzadikim shehem b'peh v'loi asu v'hu bi geres and asa. They were commanded b'peh. Shaul said to Avner, kill out the city. He refused. David told Amasa, gather the people. He didn't listen. Yoav was given a letter by David to put Uriah in the front lines, and he didn't say no. He went ahead and did it. You did it by Yigaris. So therefore, they were tzaddikim b'peh, and this is when Amasa was killed. Amarav shlei chashtu. He didn't, right, shlei chashtu, that why he would kill him. Right? He was not choshed that Amasa was not choshed that he would kill him. By Yikove bebeisei by Midbar, and it says about Yoav that he was buried in his house in the Midbar. Was the house of Yoav in the Midbar? I'm Rav Yudam Rav, no, Midbar. Yoav's house, guys, was like a Midbar. Man Midbar mufka l'chol, just like a Midbar is mufka, it's hefker for anyone to come. Af Beisa shel Yoav, so to the house of Yoav, mufka l'chol, guys. It was mufka for anyone, any ani that needed parnasa would come to the house of Yoav. Lest you think these Yoav is yeah. Don't be guilty of finding people in Tanakh as Rishayim. It's not very good, not very smart. So Davaracha Midbar Ma Midbar Munuka Migezel Varoyas. Just like the Midbar, it's clean from Gezel Aroyas. Af Beisa shel Yoav Menuka Migezel Aroyas. They were squeaky clean. Now it says V'Yoav Yechaya. What? Well, again, he didn't murder outright. He had a cheshbon with Avner, and he had a cheshbon with Amasa, but no, really Amasa was jealousy, because Amasa was appointed general in his place. Amasa was appointed general. There was jealousy there. There was this kind. Okay, and the reason he killed him, I told you yesterday, fellas, the reason why David told Shlomo to kill him is that he should get Olam Haba. You look at Rashi there. He told him to get that he wanted. If he died a natural death, he wanted to get his kapara. He wanted him to get his kapara. I guess only David can make that cheshbon. But David, so he killed him. Again, he was his nephew. Yoav was David's nephew. Yoav ben Tzeruya. Tzeruya was David's sister. He was his nephew. What?
The Gemara is like taking one to task because he got an order. Avner got an order that was not proper. He disobeyed. And Yoav got an order that was not proper, and he obeyed it.
Right.
But how do you I'm struggling.
When if a king tells you to do something that's wrong, you don't listen. That was the Rak. That's the Mesher by Yeshua. The Mesher by Yeshua is Rak Chazak Me'amatz. There's Ach. He didn't dashen the Rakin. That's the problem. Since he didn't dashen, he did whatever David told him to do. But it's not always right. You got to listen to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay. So what was wrong about Uriah? Just quickly for your benefit, the Gemara says in Shabbos, the Tosfos, he should have judged him in the case in Sanhedrin. Uriah was Chayiv Misa. He was married b'malchus. Chayiv Misa. David should not have killed him the way he killed him. He should have judged him in Sanhedrin. Why? Because people would accuse him of killing him to get his wife. Yeah. So again, it all works out. It fits, but in general, I think we did a good job over here.
Stuff in the midbar, that was his possessions, right?
Who?
At the end of the
V'yov Yechaya Sharair, Am Rav Yehuda Afilu Monine V'tzachanta Toyim Paraslu. There were small fish and delicacies. He would go ahead and provide for the anim of the year. And Hajjan Lecha Nigmar Adin, a beautiful parak and a beautiful mesechta. Okay. New parak. Arba Mises. This is where all the good stuff. Arba Mises Nimshul Bezdin. 4 Mises were given over to Bezdin. Now this is the order, is Dafka this order, fellas. Skila, Sreifa, Hereg, V'chenek. That's the order. Reb Shimon Omer, Sreifa, Skila. He puts Sreifa with Skila. Chenek v'Hereg, and he puts Chenek before Hereg. We paskin like the Chachamim. Okay. Zu mitzvahs haniskalim. These are the mitzvahs of the niskalim, the ones that we discussed previously, right? We just had the whole parak discussing how they killed a person, the skila. They would go, right, 2 koimos, and they would suspend them afterwards. Okay, so zumis and niskalim, we discussed the mitzvah of skila. And we just mentioned it because we're going to mention the other ones, so we put it in its place. Amarava, Amarav, Schreira, Amarav. Says Rav in the name of Rav Schreira, in the name of Rav Huna. Kol makom sheshanu chachamim derech minyan ein mukdam ucha. anytime the Chachamim they mention an order, the order is lav dafka, chutz mi shiva samamonim, except with the 7 samamonim. Now we're going to see in a second, fellas. You find a woman, she finds dam. She's not married, she finds dam. There was a way of going ahead and ascertaining it whether it was dam. By nafkamina, all the tyrus that she touched would be tameh because she's an avatuma. These 7, we don't know exactly what they are. Some of them we do, some we don't. If you would put them on exactly in that order, and starting with the first one, which is the strongest agent of all of them, going down in that order, if you switch the order, it wouldn't work. If you kept that order and it removed the dam, then you know it was dam. If it didn't remove, there was paint. So this 7 agents that you put together sequentially, it would remove the dam, so you know it was dam. And it would save you a lot of tsaris when it comes to tumah v'taira. So this is the only place where an order is, that's dafka, according to Rav Schura in the name of Rav Huna. Okay? What are the 7 agents? Shiva samanim mavirin ala kesem, 7 cleaning agents you would go ahead and put on a kesem. Roik tafel, that's spittle the person didn't eat, and ume grisin, that's from grits. The ume raglayim, that was left out, urine that was left out to become pungent. Vanessa, Ruburio, Kamulya, the Ashlag. Ashlag seems to be coral. So these are now. So these 7 things in a row. The Ketani Seifa, Havirin Shaloi Kesidron, if you put them on Shaloi Kesidron, not in the right order, Oisha Havirin Shivasan Ke'echad, or you put them on simultaneously, and the blood did not come out, Layosav Leiklum, you didn't do anything. In other words, it could be blood, and the fact that it didn't come out is because you didn't use the right order, or you didn't use you didn't use them in the right time. Rav Papa Saba Mishmei the Ravama Af Arba Mises. Rav Papa the Saba. It's important because we're going to have Rav Papa in a second. Rav Papa, the elder in the name of Rav, said Af Arba Mises. These 4 mises are in order of stringency. Skila Sefer Hereg of Chenek. How do you know that? They come after Rav Shimon, right? When Rav Shimon argues about the order, Shmamina. Dafka Ketani, that the Chachamim Dafka, you're going in the order of strength, was severe, working its way down. The Idach and Rav Schaira, and then Rav Huna, who did not count this. Iril Chaira, he is gerecht. Rav Papa Saba, in the name of Rav, is gerecht. So why didn't Rav Schaira count it? But Plukta like Kamari, he's not speaking about Machlaikas. Rav Papa, not Rav Papa Saba, but Rav Papa, Af say the Yuma. So to the order of Yom Kippur, the avoid Yom Kippur is Dafka. Ditnan, Kol Maisi Yom Kippurim, Hermurim ala Seder, all the Maisa of Yom Kippur that's on the Seder, Im Higdim Maisa lechaveira loyasav leklum. If you go ahead and you put one before the other, you did nothing. Im Higdim Maisa lechaveira loyasav leklum. Why? So in other words, that's Dafka, that order. V'idach, Hahu Chumra Ba'alma. That, and the others, they say it's just a chumrah. Now, what does that mean, a chumrah ba'alma? So we'll see Rashi in a second. The order that we're given is an order of strength. Skila is more severe. Sreif is more severe than hereg. Hereg is more severe than chenek. The agents, each one is progressively weaker than the first one. Over here, the order of Yom Kippur, it's just the order that it's supposed to be, but not one because the dam of the Seir is more, the dam of the par is more chashiv than the dam of the Seir. That's just the order, the way it's supposed to be. Let's see Rashi now. Let's see Rashi. The second word lie down. The second word lie down. The idach, amalacha, vaday dafka katani. Vaday, of course, I'm agreeing. Rav Papa Saba and Rav Schaira, they're agreeing that Yom Kippur is dafka. Umiu chumra ba'almahu. It's mamish a chumra shehichmir akaseh ba'avodas oisayim. They're machmin the avoid of that day. Shem shina b'sidroi puzzle. If you go ahead and change the order, it's puzzle. V'loy mishum chashivas the avodas who shetei zois chamur v'chashu mechayrasa, and not because one is more than the other. Sprinkling the blood of the seir is afterwards is not because it's less chashiv than the dam of the par. It just happens to be the order in Parshas Achremos. Elochaymer hayoim shenicht v'chuka b'sidura la'akev. It says it's a cheschayk. Why does it say chayk? To tell you if you change the order of the avodah of Yom Kippur, it doesn't work. V'chi aminon anah. When did Rav Schreira and Rav Papa Saba say adin? B'midi the chashivusa garam lei. The chashivus of the matter caused it. Kigain arba misois. The amir kamon the zu chamura mizu. Sreifa is mochamed and hereg. Hereg is mochamed and chenek, and skila is mochamed in all of them. V'chein b'shiva samonim. Shetzorchu v'karchay shall kol echad v'echad goyim loy lekadem. The kayach of each one caused it to go first. Okay, v'chein michlasayim, which we'll see in a second. Okay, so guys, very geshmak. So we have an order. We have different opinions. The only thing that dafka, according to Rav Schreira, is the Sheven Shamamonim. Rav Papa Saba said our Mishnah. Rav Papa said Yom Kippur. Rav Huna Rav Yeshua Amar Av Seder Tamid. The Seder of the order of Tamid also. There's dafka in that order. Tani Allah is Seder Tamid. V'idach and Rav Papa. What does he like about the Seder of the Tamid? Hula mitzvah alma. It's a mitzvah, but guess what? If you change the Seder, you know what? It'll be good. There's a Seder, but if you don't do the Seder, it's the mitzvah to do it this way. But if you don't do it this way, the carbon Tamid's still good. It's not like Yom Kippur that's going to pass. You should do it in this order. It's a mitzvah to do it this way. But if you don't do it this way, guess what? Then it's still good.
Why do you say that's the same thing like Yom Kippur?
What?
It's not going more stricter by Tamid. It's
What?
just different.
Again, this is a better answer. Over there, the order of Yom Kippur, you're telling me that it's dafka that order. Over here, you're telling me it's lav dafka this order. It's a stronger teretz. Hmm?
You actually said it was a chok?
That's Yom Kippur. This is coming Tamid. This doesn't say chok.
I believe it's based on what's enough to mean what one is more.
Okay, if you chayiv two, you get the Muhammad to go on. Yeah. So Rav Avi's asking very good, fellas, listen up. Rav Avi's asking, what's the difference if Muhammad and the other? If the guy's dead, he's dead. Let's say you chayiv two, so you have to give the Muhammad. No. It's not coming. You give them Muhammad. It's like you're not pata, right? You can't kill a guy twice. Okay, so now ulafuke. And this that we said. That Rav Schreira said that this order, dafka, the cleansing agent, that order of Schreira is lafuke chalitza. Where chalitza there is an order, but if you don't change the order, it's okay. Lafuke mitzvah chalitza. Nan mitzvah chalitza bahu v'yivimta lifnei bezdin. Him the yavam and his yavama coming from the bezdin. Hayinoistim loy eitzah hyganis loy. They would give him an eitzah that is hyganis loy. Shenemar v'kor loy ziknei iroi. Love. Meaning, if he's old and she's young, or vice versa, it's a get chalitza. No yibum, right? And she would say, right? She would say again. This is the process of the chalitza, right? The process of the chalitza. So korolei ziknei iroi v'dibrei love. She would say, me'en yavami lahakam achav shem. My brother-in-law does not want to go ahead and keep his brother's name going. For who Aimer like chafatzi lekachta. So these are the words she says. The lashon, the Torah tells us what you said. Me'en yavami, she says. He says like chafatzi. Ubalashon kodesh ayayim. They spoke in lashon kodesh. Then it says v'niksha yivimto elav le'eni asakeinim. No talking, but she would come next to him. The chol tzanala should take off his shoe. The Yarka b'fanav, she would spit in front of him, and that's roik hanir l'dayanim. The dayanim could see the roik. V'ansa v'amar. Now she talks again. Kocha yasel leish. This is what happens to the man. V'nikra shemar b'Yisrael based chalitz anal. V'yam Rav Yehuda mitzvah chalitza. What's the mitzvah chalitza? Kaira. She says me'en yavami. V'kaira he said v'kaira, and then he says leichafatzdi. Chayletzes, she takes off the shoe. Rekeka, she spits. V'koira, and she says, Kocha yasel ish. V'chavinan ba, and my kamash malam, that's Rav Yehuda telling me, Masnisan he. The order is explained in a Mishnah. And it says, Marha kamash malam, she mitzvah hachi, this is the mitzvah. V'apich, and if you switch it around, less than ba, it's not ma'akiv. So Rav Schreira, who was telling us the din of the Zion Nikiyim, is dafka saying this order, lafuke chalitza, which the order is supposed to be this way, lechatchila, b'di'evet, if you switch something, she still is a chalitza. The chalitza is good chalitza. Tanya nami hachi, in the words of Rabbi Yehuda, bein shehigdem chalitza l'rakika, whether the taking off the shoe preceded the spitting, or rekika lechadlitza, which you shouldn't have done. Masha asu, whatever you did. Another one, la fuke. Here's another case that Rav Schoira would say exclude, where there's an order, but it's lav. It turns out it's not ma'akiv. Meha from over here. That nan a Mishnah Yuma. Kohen Gadol mishamesh b'shmoina kelim. The Kohen Gadol is mishamesh in eight pieces of clothing. Behedyet arba. What are they? Bikutaines is the shirt. Michlasayim is the pants. Mitznefes is the hat. Avnein is the gartel. Moisav lein Kohen Gadol chayshin efa milvit sits. Now, what's the order over here in the Mishnah? What comes first, guys? The first thing, shirt. What comes next? Pants. That's what it says. That's what it says in the Mishnah. However, Vitanya in the Brisa, minayin shlo yehdava koidim lemechlasayim. How do you know anything should not be before the pants? Shenemar umichlasei bad yal b'sarai, and pants of linen should be on his basa. So what do you see comes first? Why did the Mishnah say first? Shirt. So here's an example of with the order, but lav dafka. The Tana, my timer, Agnami Likataina. So, tak, if the pants come first, why did the Tana of the Mishnah put the shirt first? Mishum the Agnami Kra, because the Torah puts it first. The Kra, my timer, Agnami, why did Torah put it first? Mishum the Mechasya Kula Guf. It's more chashiv because it covers the whole body. Adifale, which the pants only covers the legs. Pants, the body only covers the legs. Okay, we'll stop over here.